Welcome back to Through the Portal. Today we are talking more about our upcoming PvE release, the Vault Trials. This is a product we are obviously very excited about. Something really different in the market. Not a lot of games and TCGs are doing anything like this today. We feel like it's something that players really want. They want that solo experience, that co-op experience where it's not always competitive, even though it feels competitive. Playing against the box, I still enjoy it. I found myself really falling in love with PvE after we released our first one, Siege of the Forgotten, and playing the heck out of that a lot. It's been one of the most fun game night things we've done with our friends, where it's people we played games with for years, card games. It's great to play Alpha Clash together, but it's also more fun sometimes when we just team up.
And if you don't have a game store or you can't get together with friends because you've got a busy work schedule or kids or family or whatever, you can just get it out. You can play against it. It gives you it scratches the itch for Alpha Clash. And it's just been a really welcome.
Yeah, and we saw it even last year. We debuted Siege of the Forgotten at Gen Con. And the amount of people that were like, they didn't have any other questions. They walked up, they're like, solo? TCG solo, I can play by myself? Yep. All right, I'll take it.
Yep. That was fun.
And that was really fun to see. And so we heard a lot of that feedback. We got a lot of experience with that first one. We took a lot of the feedback. We feel like our developers and team and testers and everybody really nailed this one. So we're excited to get it out. With that, some of the biggest changes with this product is that it now comes with 2 ready-to-play decks in the box. So now, in one sealed box, you get solo gameplay, cooperative gameplay, and versus gameplay.
Yeah.
Because you can take the decks and just play against each other or plug and play into your general Alpha Clash games.
Yeah, that was some of the biggest feedback that we got, was that people wanted decks that were built for the encounter, and that's exactly what these are.
Yep.
They're good against the Vault, but then you can also play against them, and then you could play outside of that. But they're really built to face the encounter and have pretty good odds of...
Yeah, and they'll still have a life in the general Alpha Clash TCG,
Absolutely.
but this is an experience. This is a raid experience with decks that are built to play against it as well as against each other and exist in the general Alpha Clash. Today, we're going to be talking about one of those decks, and that is Clarity. And we've already seen Clarity as a contender before in the game a couple of times, but she looks a little different this time.
Yeah, well, so you'll notice she has Clarity in her name, but she's got Death as her tag in the bottom left. So she is a Death contender named Clarity, because if you're following the story at all, Clarity used to be Death in the past, and Cosmic Conquest is a prequel story from 100,000 years ago. And so you're kind of seeing her transition from the Harbinger of Death to Clarity throughout this.
Yeah, and spoiler, if you haven't read the story yet, or you haven't been caught up on the comic books and you want to, some of the things you're going to see in the Vault Trials come directly from the comic books, so very lore-driven. So
heavy lore emphasis on this one.
Heavy lore. Straight out of the comic.
We wanted to immerse people into the Vault.
That's right. So, Clarity contender. Let's talk about it. Let's dive into the deck. You're going to see here as we talk, not only new contender, a few new cards, some new alternate arts, some new just little minor variations on other cards. It's going to be something for new players, for returning players. I think there's something for everybody in this deck.
Yep. So Clarity ready for trials. She's got 25 health. She is a destroyer. She's got 1 attack, no defense, and is the Harbinger affiliation. What's cool about her is she is similar to, or at least complementary to, the Death archetype, but she is also flavorful to the first version of Clarity from the first set too. So when you play her, she has something called dual weaponry, which we'll talk about that in a second, but that's kind of like part of the engine of the deck. She can attach up to 2 contender weapons, and then she has a trigger attack with her first health threshold. And so when she attacks, she can foretell 2 cards, so flavorful to the first Clarity. You can then reveal one of those cards. You can either add it to your hand, which is great, or you can put it into your Oblivion. And then after that, you get +X +O, where X is equal to the amount of specific resource pips on the card and up to 3 for the Clash. So she can get pretty powered up pretty quick and efficiently each turn. And then once you hit the 15 health threshold, then she's got a trigger challenge where you can bring, I think it's a non-unrivaled, testing me right here, non-unrivaled 3 cost or less Clash card to the top of your deck from your Oblivion.
Yeah.
So pretty cool contender. Yeah. And she's really fun.
Unique yet flavorful. She somehow has elements of death and of clarity. And then you're going to see this engine going with Clash buff, new weapon, new Clash card. How does it all work? So
and then
let's talk about the new cards first.
Okay, so let's go into dual weaponry because that's kind of part of the engine. So dual weaponry, it's a contender weapon. It's a 1 cost. It attaches for 2, but if the portal is open, it only costs 1. And then essentially what happens is before damage will occur in the Clash, you can put this dual weaponry weapon onto either an opposing contender or Clash card, and then they'll get
take it off of your contender.
Yep, take it off yours, put it onto another. They'll get -0, -2. And then what happens is at the end of your turn, you're going to put that dual weaponry into your Oblivion, and then you'll detach all weapons that are attached to that card too. So if they're playing Alpha Hunters or something.
So you give their thing a debuff.
Yep.
And you send all their weapons to Oblivion, and then your weapon goes to your Oblivion.
Yep, that's right. And you have ways to bring this card back, so you can keep this engine going.
And your contender can attach multiple.
Correct.
Weapons.
Yes.
So you might be able to dual wield dual weaponry.
Yes, and death shenanigans. She likes death, Oblivion, defeats, etc.
So she could attach 2 of these to herself, give something -0, -4.
Sure.
On a contender or a Clash card.
Yep.
And then get rid of all their stuff. So if they're stacking a bunch of weapons onto their contender or on a certain Clash card you don't like, not only can you potentially kill it and get rid of it, but you can also get rid of those weapons and detach them.
Yep.
If you don't kill it, you can still detach the weapon.
Right, right. And then part of that kind of recursion piece, there's 2 more cards. Jumping into action, that's the Clash buff. It's a 1 cost Clash buff. So what's cool is target card, so it can target a contender or a Clash card. It doesn't have any restrictions, so you can put this into any deck also outside of this. But the card gets +1/+1, and then you can return a contender weapon from your Oblivion into play and attach it, and then if you do, you get a draw card.
That's pretty good for 1.
So for 1, +1/+1, essentially put a 1 cost card into play, attach it, and draw a card.
And could go into any deck in the future as long as you have a black resource to pay for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we've got new contender, new Clash buff, new weapon. We also have a brand new Clash card, which is
Clarity the Challenger. Pretty cool art. I like it. She's got the shield and she's got the spear. Looks pretty cool. But she's a 3/2 for 3. She's Destroyer locked, and she's also a Harbinger. Okay. She's got a trigger attack, and then if the opposing card, the defending card, rather, has a weapon attached, then she gets +1/+0 and undisputed. And then she also has a trigger challenge in that you can return, I think it's a contender weapon from your Oblivion back into play.
Yeah. So there might be a brand new contender weapon that you would like to return to play because it, as you see the engine here, you might be putting it on your contender, putting your dual weaponry on your Clarity, killing stuff, getting rid of their weapons. It gets sent to your Oblivion. You play this, you trigger it, you bring it back, put it straight into play.
And that also has no cost restriction on that ability too. So future weapons, or if you deck build or whatever, could be recurred that way.
Yes. So yes, this is a deck built, ready to go right out of the box. You're also maybe seeing some other ways you can use these and incorporate them into other decks that you like to play in the future. And so that's our new cards. We've got a new contender. Obviously, you've got 1 copy of that. You've got a new Clash card, a new weapon, and a new Clash buff. You get a full playset of 4 of those brand new cards. in there. In addition to the new cards, we've also got a few alt arts in each deck, as well as what I wouldn't consider alt arts, but slightly different versions of the rest of the cards that are in the deck that might have slightly shifted art, some removed word bubbles, some different layering with the framing and things where it's still the same art, but different.
Yeah,
So,
if you put the two arts next to each other, the original card and the updated card, you would notice differences.
you might consider it an alt art, but I don't.
Yeah,
So we'll
right.
we'll talk about the alternate arts that got a completely brand new art, and then some of the rest of them still got a little change.
It's a whole list, so we got this written down so that we didn't skip over anything. But for alternate arts, Moxie Sidearm, you get 2 copies.
Yep. So that's the artwork from the original graphic novel. So throwing that one back to 2022.
Wow.
And using that artwork. Hard to believe that was already more than 4 years ago that art was created.
Yeah, that's wild. Compromise, 2 copies of that.
Yeah. The original was Sonoro and Kilimanjaro.
Yep, shaking hands.
Shaking hands in the New Mexico desert, a scene from the novel. This new one is Clarity or Death, as she's with Doomcaster.
Yeah. And then the other alternate art is Death No Escape. You get 3 copies of this.
Yep.
And she looks like she's in trouble in this one.
Yep. Out of the comic, might be battling some very large bad guy.
Yeah. Harbinger Arrival, 2 copies.
Yep. So that's
Remove
another
word
one.
bubbles
We
of
removed
that.
the word bubbles, slightly changed.
I prefer the old ways.
Get
3 copies of that.
Okay. Slope small change.
Yep. Clarity, Harbinger of Darkness, 2 copies.
Okay.
Shadow Strike, 2. Death the Dreadful, 3 copies.
Good card. I like it.
Yeah, I like that one. Death Dwelling in Darkness, 3. Death Envoy of the End, 3. Death the Endbringer.
Love a good
Really like
Endbringer.
that card. 2 copies of that one. Death the Relentless, 4.
You need 4 of that. You wanna go find that next.
Yeah, keep getting that. Death Crown, 2. I really like that art.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
one of my
unique.
favorite arts, actually.
It's really unique. I Am Demise, there's 3 copies. And then lastly, Retribution should be 2. And if you're counting altogether, that should be
There better be
51.
50 cards in that deck plus a contender.
Yeah.
So that is the Clarity Death deck that comes inside the Vault Trials. You're also going to get another deck with it that we're going to talk about in another video with Master Zephyrian. But that's the Clarity deck. So new cards, new alternate arts, slightly different versions of the other ones. Solo, co-op, versus. You also get 4 booster packs inside the box from spoils of the vault.
It's everything you could ever want.
It is everything I could ever want. Hopefully it's everything you could ever want too. So great experience all in one box, and we think you're really going to enjoy it. It is going to be here very soon. This releases in June 2026, depending on when you're watching it. If you have not pre-ordered it, make sure you pre-order it. If you have a local game store that carries it, make sure they've put their order in. If you are in the US and you don't have a local game store, make sure you're going to Team Covenant, placing your order. Internationally, make sure you're working with your local game stores or distributors. A lot of ways to get it here. And we will have this at the conventions this summer as well.
Yeah.
And so if you see us and you haven't got it yet, you can even grab one there. So that is the deck. We hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.